Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and watchOS 11.2 RC released the other day, and watchOS 11.2 RC is out to developers and public beta testers as well. This particular update came in at a very small 244 megabytes on my Apple Watch Ultra 2 in black titanium, and was released alongside many other updates as they're getting ready for a public release, such as iOS 18.2 RC, iPadOS 18.2 RC, macOS updates, visionOS, tvOS, and HomePod OS as well. Now this update does contain some new changes and features, and let's go ahead and take a look at the build number first and talk about what's new. So we'll go into our settings here, and within settings, if we go to general and then about, you'll see the build number is 22S99. If there's no additional issues and there's no need for an RC2, this should be the final build released to the public sometime next week. We'll talk about when to expect that a little bit later, but this typically would be the final version. Now, as far as the first new features go, well, there's a camera update. So if you're using the camera app to sort of control your camera on your iPhone, it's sort of a nice little utility to have. If we go into the camera remote, it opens up on the iPhone. And if we're recording a video, we can actually pause that video now. So not only can we start the video recording, you'll see it starts there, but we also have the option to pause the video recording. So just like we have the pause button we've had for a little bit, we can then pause and unpause. So it's a nice little update to that feature, where it helps you sort of get the most out of maybe framing a video, changing it, and then continuing to record. We also have an update with the Tides app. So if we go down to Tides, under Tides, we'll find it here. I think I have too many apps. But if we go into Tides, under Tides, we can of course see the tides where we're located, but they've now updated this with locations for China. So if you're in a coastal location, you'll see we have Hong Kong. We'll go to China here, and then we can see the information for the tides there. So this has been added to Apple Watch and is available with this update. There's also an update with fitness. So if you're using fitness, maybe Apple Fitness with your Apple TV, within the fitness app, if maybe you're doing a workout for cycling and you typically measure things such as RPM, we'll go ahead and start this. If you're using your Apple Watch connected to cycling, and then you're connected to maybe a local piece of equipment, whether that's in a gym or in your home, you'll now see RPM on the screen as well. So you have to have those things connected, but they will show up now. There's also some new awards in here, and you'll see that here in the upper left for closing your rings. So there's some different ones for this as well that have been added. Along with the features I've mentioned, we also expect Apple to patch some security holes. So we do expect some security releases. However, they don't update this website until after it's released to the public. So just like we've had with all of the latest versions here, if we go back to watchOS 11.1, there were quite a few security patches. So we do expect that as well. Also, if we take a look at the release notes, these are the public-facing release notes. If we go down to Apple Watch here with watchOS 11.2 RC, there are a few things mentioned, but nothing that's terribly new. But they did resolve the battery issue. So this update addresses potential inaccurate estimates of battery health reporting for some devices on watchOS 11.2 Beta 1 and Beta 2. So that was fixed with Beta 3 and still is fixed with this update. They've resolved some issues with StoreKit, Swift UI, and that's about it. So not a whole lot going on as far as bug fixes that they're letting us know about. Hopefully we'll get some more information on that. Like I mentioned with battery health, they did update this. So if we go to battery here, we have to go back to our settings. And if we scroll down to battery, under battery here, give it just a moment, we go to battery health, and you'll see down at the bottom, I'm at 100%. I'm still at 100% on my Apple Watch Ultra 2 from last year. So that's great news, and this was at 80% not too long ago. It only charged to that, and it seems to be holding up just fine. Battery life is okay, but it's only been a day or so since it's been installed. Performance in general seems to be nice and smooth. You've been seeing that throughout this video, so if we go to something such as noise that hasn't been loaded, give it a second. There we have the decibel reading. So in general, it seems to be a pretty solid update. Not a ton of fixes, but quite a few things that are a nice improvement. So if you're wondering if you should install watchOS 11.2 RC, well, if you're on any of the betas, then I would recommend installing it. If you're not on one of the betas yet, then I would hold off until the public release. However, if you're a beta tester and you don't want to continue to test any of these betas, you can turn that off now. And if we do have an additional update or a new build, you'll have that when this releases to the public. And speaking of the public release, we can expect that as soon as Monday. So based on what we've had in the past, I would expect it on Monday the 9th, but we don't know that 100%. We could see it sometime early next week, but typically it is on a Monday. Then we'll move on to watchOS 11.3 and iOS 18.3 betas, and we'll probably have beta 1 right away, and then probably nothing until mid-January. That's typically what Apple does. So that's usually what we see. So I would hold off at least for updating until then, once we have that public release. Other than that, though, it seems to be pretty decent. Let me know if you've found anything else, though, in watchOS 11.2 RC. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already, though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time. One more thing, many people ask me what watch face I'm using. You've seen these in different videos, but I'm using Modular Ultra, and I often use the regular modular watch face. So if we go here, go to our complications, you'll see here that in the middle we have one called Lumi. It's countdown to golden hour, or one of the best times to take photos and videos, but you can adjust that as you'd like. Everything else, though, is pretty standard with music, compass, weather, messages, and then the date. So that's what I have set up typically with just modular, but lately I've been using Modular Ultra, where it's very similar but has sort of the seconds go around the outside edge. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.